Hello, Sagittarius. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Bonefire Tarot by Gabby Angus West. For supportive oracle cards, Queen of... Nope. Wisdom of the House of Night. And on the back here above the barcode is who created it. There's two artists there, I believe. The illustrator and the actual artist. Is that how that works? The designer and the illustrations. Okay. I want to go towards these first, so let's put these over here. This is like an in-between card. And then there's that. Okay. To remove those there. What else do we have for you with the tarot cards? This is Sagittarius. Yes. Okay. You may be hearing my cat in the background. He's all about his little fuzzy, his little jingle balls there. So you might be hearing that, just fair notice. He's having a day where that's what he wants to play with. What's going on here to start is a good question, because I'm getting like somebody is listening for you. They get the listening card in the environment, but it's almost like they're listening and they're trying to goad you into saying what they want to hear. Like they're listening and listening and they're trying to find what they want to find. You've got wishing and reminder, but when I feel wishing, I almost feel like the wishing well. Kind of like you're trying to figure out what they want from you. What is it that they really want from you? Like this, somebody's not telling you what they really want from you, and this is where this starts off. You're open, like, what do you want? Tell me what you want. And they're just like, well, tell me what you got. And you're kind of like, well, if you tell me what you want, we probably could make that happen, but you got to tell me what you want. No, just tell me what you want, what you got. And that's what they keep doing. Instead of telling you what they actually want, and they know what they want. They do know what they want with this listening card, whoever this is. They know what they want, but it's like a weird game. No, just tell me what you have. We'll see what works. It's a weird game, and like it becomes a little bit like it's drawing on you. It's like it gets old fast. Let's do that. There's not a lot of direct communication. There is some communication here, but you're not like you know that they're looking for something specific. They are not willing to tell you what it is. They just want to see if what you already have fits their bill. I just see you getting bored with this. You're getting bored with this, and you're like, all right, you know what? Listen, this is what I got. What looks best to you? Well, I don't know. What looks good to you? And it's like, I feel like literally somebody says that to you. You're like, here's what I have. What looks good to you? Because you're like, all right, you're not going to tell me what you actually want. So here's what I got. Here's what I have. What would you like? I don't know, what looks good to you? And you're like, I'm over it. You just like, this is what we're going to do. And you just pick up and start moving. Because it's getting annoying. It's getting annoying is what I'm getting. And you got the King of Wands kind of like, all right, fine. You're not going to make a decision? Well, I am. Because I'm sick of just standing here. I'm over it. Complicated face down. See, this is the problem. The energy you're working with, they know what they want, but they don't think they can have it. So they're trying to see what fits their... It's almost like looking at a rack of clothes, and there's really like... The style of dress is not what they want. So they're just trying to find what matches what is most comfortable for them and just what they can live with. It's one of those things. It's kind of weird. It's complicated is face down. It's like they don't think they can have what they want. So they're just trying to find the best fit of what's available. I feel like this energy is not... I don't like this energy. It does not feel empowered. It literally feels like they just feel like they can't have what they truly want. So they're just trying to find whatever seems to be acceptable. No. I don't like this energy going right into this. I can tell you right off the bat. I don't... Because this is where it's all... This is the base of this situation. This person's already coming in not thinking they can get what they want, just trying to see how close they can get to something that they want. It's literally looking at like a rack of clothes is what I'm getting again. I'm seeing this rack of clothes, and none of it is their style, not any of it. But they're like, well, I guess I kind of like those colors, and this fits okay. And I mean, it's not something I really want to wear, but it'll feel okay. I think I can live with that. That'll be all right. And that's what I'm feeling from this person. Like, they're not expressing that they really don't like the style. And if they would express what they really want and how this really fits for them, things would go differently. Yeah, they might have to still pick something that they don't really want, but other options would come forward to them, and they're not doing that. As things keep going forward, though, I'm seeing you connect to this energy. Sooner or later, you're understanding that this person is just kind of like, they're settling. Whatever aspect you're dealing with, be it work, family, could be love, could be friendship, whatever you're dealing with this person in this area, you know that they're settling for what they're settling. It doesn't matter exactly how far that's going. You know that they're settling, that they're not really into this, and you're kind of looking at this kind of like, you know what, why are we doing this? You got the High Priestess of Spirit here, kind of like you're getting the heads up. You're not shutting anything down, but you're starting to connect into it, kind of like you're not really into this. They got self-worth, and what's the other card? 9 of Swords. This is another reason why you're seeing it, because they're not really liking the situation. But they might be saying passive-aggressive things like, well, I guess this is as good as it gets, or this'll do, or yeah, I mean, I guess that's what I have to take. Certain things like that. Certain things where it's passive-aggressive, where they're showing their discontent, but they're still accepting it and going along with it. They're like choosing something, but also saying they don't really want it. It's like going up to a buffet going, I guess there's salad and this, I mean, I should eat healthy, so I guess I'll have some of the salad. Meanwhile, you know, whatever else is up there, they just feel like they can't have, or that there's nothing better. Oh, I guess it's a salad buffet, and they want macaroni and cheese. It's just not there. So like, well, I guess I'll have the tomatoes and the cucumbers with the salad. I guess I'll stick with that. I mean, I don't really want ranch dressing, but I guess that'll work. I mean, it's either ranch dressing, oil and vinegar, or this other stuff. I don't even know what that is, so I guess I'll go with ranch. At least I know what that is, I guess. That's kind of the energy I'm feeling for them. Kind of like they're hungry, they need to eat something, this will do. It's not what they want, but they feel like that's what they need to do. I'm getting self-worth with the 9 of Swords for them. Like, they're really not seeing possibilities to pull themselves out of this, but they're not owning their own energy. They're not owning their own energy and standing up for themselves, saying, you know what, this isn't where I want to be. I ended up at this buffet, this salad buffet, that I don't want to be at. They're not expressing that, because not for nothing, if they just flat out told you what they actually wanted, things might change. Things might change. There's only going to be so long you can put up with this. The question is, what's going to happen from this? Because whatever you're dealing with, you got the Temperance card, which I feel like you're trying... The way this is coming through is like you're trying to have the patience of a saint. Trying to. That's a heavy order. That's a heavy order. I don't know. Not feeling really good about it. Because I feel like you're trying to be patient with this, you're trying to work with this energy, you're trying to get them to come forward with what they really want. Because even though you realize that they're settling, you're still not understanding exactly what part are they settling at. I feel like some more frank, honest conversations need to come forward. Take this with a grain of salt. Because this isn't going to work for everybody. You got to think of who you're dealing with. But you might want to poke the bear a little bit. You know? Because when you poke the bear probably is going to get mad, but you're going to find out what they're really thinking. Take that with a grain of salt. Now, poke the bear doesn't mean you have to tick off the bear. But you get the bear to play a little bit, and you might find out something you didn't know before. It's kind of like if they're guarding something and you play with the bear a little bit, you find out they're in defense mode, and you realize, leave the bear alone, stay away from the bear, because they're in defense mode. If they're just bored, maybe they'll play back. If you poke the bear a little bit, maybe they'll play back with you. Maybe it's okay. I'm actually feeling like poking the bear means like you might have to actually start some conversations that might seem a little rude or out of place. I know that might seem a little bit controversial depending on what you're dealing with, but if you start pushing the envelope and start pushing conversations, you might get this person to actually say what they actually want. It's dicey. You got to decide what you think is right. Like, take that with a grain of salt, because I feel like if you start pushing the envelope, you might push them to the edge, and you might scare them enough where they might start talking. Like, you don't want to literally scare somebody and make them feel like they're in a dangerous position, so don't take that the wrong way. But, this is one of those times where you start a conversation and you're like, how about skydiving? Oh, I think I'm going to... Look, we got tickets. I could get tickets for the skydiving. We can get on this plane. No, really, I can get the stuff. And you could really start pushing it, and they'll be like, no, I don't want to skydive. I just want to go speedboat racing. I don't want to skydive. And you're like, speedboat racing? That's what you wanted this whole time? Well, of course I've wanted that the whole time, but we don't have the money for it. And you're just like, why didn't you just say that to begin with? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's a weird feeling. Okay. Now, why we're saying this at this point is because you're coming to a brick wall. This situation, whoever you're dealing with, is going to get on your last nerve. You're going to have it. So they're saying if you're trying to salvage this situation, when you get to this point where they're settling, you just don't know what they're settling for, your last-ditch effort to actually save it is to push forth some risky conversations. Not where somebody's physically in peril, but a risky conversation. Like skydiving lessons. Yeah, look, I found it. Oh, it's cheap. We can do that. Look, I'll book us some places in this. And they freak out like, no, I don't want to go skydiving. That would be me. No, I don't want to go skydiving. I want to do this. This is what I actually want to do. I'd rather do this before I do that. That you might get the truth out there. Okay. Now, this is where it's going. The situation has to change. The situation is not going well. I'm seeing this on the other side, rigid, which is a very curious card. For the way I read it, it's a very curious card because there's a crow on it, and I like crows. Rigid, but like you're on this ridge, and it's a stony, sharp wall. Like, it's a stony, sharp wall. Like, if you try to climb across this, you're gonna have to be very careful. You can easily get hurt. The crow can navigate across it fairly unscathed. Like, a crow can fly across this wall and get past this restriction. So it's almost like a hint with this situation, because it's like a rigid situation. Like, it's hard to get past this boundary. It's hard to get past this. But crow to me is like, it's communication, but it has a lot of, like, a bird is communication, a bird is air. But there's a very emotional finesse to it. You know what I mean? It's knowing, like, how to communicate through this situation, get the conversation going. It's going to take a lot. They're also giving the High Priestess of Water here. Like, you're going to have to be very emotionally connected to this person to really navigate through this boundary, because it's trying to get them to speak up with what they want. What is it that they really want that they don't think they can have? And them to just spit it out. Because if they don't, see, that might be the kicker to this. It's either they spit it out, and you know what? They might be afraid of losing you or you walking away from them or not being impressed with them over this. Little do they know you're already not impressed with them. So they might end up with the same outcome by not telling you what they really want. So that's the weird thing. You got to kind of convey that to them. Give them a chance to realize, listen, either tell me what you want and maybe we can get that, or don't tell me what you want and I'm probably going to be out of this situation because I'm over it. Because I'm getting here with the lust on your side. This is a tricky card too. The lust on your side is not like you're lusting after this person, but like you're sick of wanting. You're sick of lusting after the situation. You're over trying to figure out what this person wants. It's kind of like the lust card, but it's kind of like when you lust for something, you can't get your hands on it. That's kind of how I view it anyway. It's like you lust for this. You want this. You constantly are lusting for it because you want to get something. You're trying to get closer to something. There's something you're trying to fulfill that you can't seem to fulfill, so you keep lusting for it. That's the whole thing with lust, in my opinion. It's trying to get something, trying to go for it, and never really being able to attain it. it's almost like I feel like it's connected to the chasing the dragon feel when it comes to drugs, even though I don't really have any plan to, and never really have gone anywhere down the drug lane. But it's kind of like the first high is the best high, and then for the rest of their life, they're trying to repeat that, and they can't seem to get to it. It's that feel. And it's kind of like, I'm sick of trying to chase the dragon. I'm sick of trying to go for it and never attaining it, because you're going to end up walking away. The Chariot is telling me you're going to get sick of this person. You're going to get sick of this ridiculousness. You're going to get sick of trying to achieve a goal that you can't even find out what the goal is. And you're just going to be like, you know what? I'm out. I'm over it. I'm over it. You can't tell me what you want. You can't help me figure out what the problem is here. Then, maybe somebody else can, because I'm done. I don't even care what you want anymore. I don't even care what you want. I'm over it. Bye. There you go. We're out. I'm over it. That's where this seems to be heading. They're saying if you want to give this, like, you just want to look back like you gave it every chance possible, poke the bear a little bit, try to get a conversation going, try to get them to speak up, because I feel like this person does not easily let it go. They don't easily open the doors and let you know what's happening. For some of you, you've been dealing with this person for a couple of years, is what I'm getting, and you're just coming to the end of your rope. If you're just really hoping to salvage it, I feel like you might have to start some risky conversation. You might have to be like, oh, hey, I'm going to book us into like a skydiving class. No, they got a couple spaces. No, I got the money. I'll pay for it for both of us. Then they freak out. No, I don't want skydiving classes. You might get them to speak up about what they actually do want at that point. What do you want then? I want to go race boating. I want to be on a race boat. I want to race boats. That's what I want to do. And you're like, really? You couldn't tell me that before? You couldn't tell me that before? Well, I didn't think it was a possibility. I don't know. It's something weird. The Chariot is coming forward either way, because a change needs to happen. It's either one, you're going to leave, or two, you're going to find out whatever this person's holding back and what they really want, it may be something you can actually fulfill that they don't realize. They don't understand the possibilities you have. They don't understand what you're really capable of. They maybe don't know you well enough to understand the spectrum that you're connected to. That maybe you keep things just a little quiet yourself, but you can handle it. I don't know. It doesn't seem to be holding you back. If you're holding things back, it's not holding you back. But to them, it seems to be. Either they tell you what needs to change or what they want, and maybe you can move forward with that, or they don't, and you're going to move on. It's one or the other. I don't feel like there's an in-between. This person's getting on your last nerve, and you're sick of playing games with it. So it doesn't matter if it's work, family, friend, lover, whatever it is. Whoever this is that's not telling you what they want, and you can tell that they're discontent. There's discontent there. They're not getting what they want, and they're not telling you what they actually want. You're going to get fed up with it, is what I'm getting. So your last-ditch effort is to try to find a way to make them to talk. And if they can't, I feel like you're going to move on. If they can, I feel like you're going to probably try to see if you can make that work. But it's up to you whether that's acceptable. So keep that in mind. If it's something that you find out what they want and it's not acceptable to you, you might still have to move on. I will give this example. I was walking away from it, but let's just be fair. Maybe you're a monogamous person and they don't like to be that way. And maybe that's what they need to come forward with. And you're like, all right, I understand that's what you need. Let's part on good ways, because you need to go and do what you need to do. I need to stay here and do it. Maybe it's just finding out what they truly want may still get you to move on, but it may be the difference between parting on negative terms and positive terms. So you might still end up with still a parting of the ways, just for argument's sake, but at least you'll know why, and you'll be comfortable with it, and you'll both be like, all right, we didn't match, and it was gonna crash and burn anyway. At least we dealt with it before it actually became a problem. I feel like that's closure, if that's how that happens. It might just... Closure, knowing why, knowing the truth why, might be better than just circumspection. Is there anything else with this? I think we're done. All right, so that's where it's ending. I think I just beat it to death so bad. So I'm going to shut this down here. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.